Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. It's that time again for another monthly reading, and this time we're going to be looking at each of your birthday months in terms of what will happen in December. For this month's reading, I've decided to use a very simple oracle card to accompany it. It's called the Mystic Journey Oracle, and it consists of a card with a single word. And let's see what it has to say that might accompany the readings that are to follow. I certainly hope you've been getting something positive out of the readings I've been doing this year. I'll continue on for a little while longer before I make a decision about whether or not to continue them. They haven't received a great deal of interest so far, but I'm extremely hopeful. And as Cash Peters would have it, just keep on. If it's your soul's journey, you'll get there. So that's where I'm going. All right, I'd like to welcome back those of you who have been following this series of sessions, and I hope that your colour readings for each month have had something of interest for you that's helped to guide you through that month. It has been a very tumultuous year across the world, and we're now coming to the close of it, and hopefully by the end of this upcoming month, we'll be back to some sort of normality for the new year for 2026. But for now, let's just look at December 2025. If you're new here, this is not the sort of reading that you would find in a tarot reading. This is done per month because we tend to resonate to our birth months regardless of our cultural backgrounds, and also because colours don't read quite the same as tarot cards do. But I hope you'll find it interesting enough to come back. Let's see, shall we? A colour reading for people born in the month of July to see how December 2025 will travel for them. And first, we'll choose ourselves an oracle card. That one popped out, and because I haven't seen it, we'll take it and pop it under there. Doesn't happen very often. I wonder what it says. So now I want a colour reading for people born in the month of July for their December 2025. And we begin the month with yellow on yellow. We go to red on red, and then grey on blue, and the underlying energy is cyan on blue. Interesting. All right, well, the first thing we notice is that there are three colours that are repeated, and two of them are repeated within the same circle. There are only 12 of these in the whole deck, so two of them is fairly unusual. We have yellow, top and bottom, red, top and bottom, and here we have blue, but in both those cases, they are on the bottom of the circle. So let's examine what this is all about. Blue internally has to do with the desire for organisation, a need to get your act together, to become the nurturer of yourself, to tidy things up, to put everything in its place, to organise your life, so that in the real world, and this is what the cyan is about, cyan is an extension of all of that organising energy, to the extent that now everything is in its place. Your life couldn't be any more organised or happy or certain. This certainly cyan in the real world is all about bliss and harmony and satisfaction. So here we have as your underlying energy the need to organise yourself in order to be satisfied with your life. And that permeates the entirety of the month of December. As you come into the month, you've got yellow on yellow. Now, when we have the same colour top and bottom, in the same circle, there is an issue with the ability to make changes because these are stagnant. What you feel like is what you do. What you want is what you get. It makes for a very stable, but yet at the same time, as I said, stagnant way of doing things. And here we have yellow in the internal world, which is usually associated with anxiety and stress. It's associated with fear. There is a tendency to have too much information overload as the underlying energy here. And in the real world, instead of allowing that energy to be dissipated in other directions, you in fact are creating more of that experience of new information coming in. Basically, yellow on yellow is a fairly happy situation. Yes, I'm a little bit cautious about the things that I want to do, but in the real world, I'm having fun. That's what it says. Yellow on yellow is about feeling as though you've just about attained or are on the verge of attaining all of everything that you ever wanted or desired in the real world, because it's got nothing to do with your internal world. This is success in the real world. Now, if we add the underlying energy to this, we can have yellow over blue. Now, yellow over blue is what I call the teacher combination. Blue internally is the need to understand. Yellow in the external world is the need to be able to give that information out, because yellow is all about talking too. So, speaking truth, finding truth. That's what this combination is about. And when we mix the two colors together, yellow and blue create green. Green is your heart chakra. It's your heart energy. It's the energy of your values, of the things that you believe in, the things that you trust. On the other hand, we could have cyan over yellow. Now, that has a very similar reading, except that here we have gone to an extreme. The yellow internally, as I said, has associations with fears and anxieties and just feeling as though there is some trepidation about what you're experiencing. In the real world, though, when cyan accompanies that, it's pretty much a stalemate. I'm feeling a little bit disconcerted, discombobulated, not terribly certain about what's going on in my world. And in the real world, nothing is changing. Everything is the same. There is no need to feel so afraid or so disconnected with the world. Nevertheless, that feeling remains, even though everything is stable. By the middle of the month, we have red on red. Now, red is pretty well removed from yellow in terms of the amount of energy and where the energy comes from. This is all digestion energy and also thinking energy. This, on the other hand, is all about sexual energy and also action. It has to do with making choices, but it's making choices based on gut feeling, not just gut feeling, sorry. It's based on impulsive feelings. I am attracted to this and I'm going to have it. And that's the sort of energy that comes from red on red. It's an energy that enables all sorts of risks to be taken in order to obtain what you want. The red internally is a feeling of jumping out of your skin, energy, desire, all bound up as something that you need to release. And in the real world, there are the opportunities for you to do so. And so you're jumping around, making choices based on what appeals right in the here and now. Red, however, also says stop. It says stop and reconsider. But that's not what this energy does. This energy allows you to simply grab what's going rather than consider carefully. This is the consideration back here. You've left it behind. Here, you're just grabbing whatever is available to you that you feel appeals. Now, if we take red over blue, we end up with a combination that has to do with creativity. Blue internally is all about that need for nurture. I need to get myself organized. I've got to create some sort of peace and quiet and harmony in my life. In the real world, I'm getting busy doing that. So together, red and blue also make purple. Purple has got to do with change energy. It has to do with catastrophic changes, but it also has to do with healing as well. In order to be able to have fun in your life, you have to get rid of the non-fun things. And that's what this red and purple is all, red and blue is all about. Red is paternal or fathering energy. Blue is mothering energy. So between the two of them, you are parenting yourself. That's what you'll be doing by the middle of December. On the other hand, you could have cyan on red. Now, cyan and red are opposites on the color wheel. Cyan is all about bliss and harmony and everything in its place and feeling contented. And red is all about jumping out of your skin because you are discontented. So here we have an opposing feeling here. The red and blue are very similar to that. They also oppose one another, but not quite the same way. Here, the red and blue create a change because you are deliberately destroying what you don't want and creating something that you do. But cyan and red are more about being frustrated with the fact that you are in a situation of virtual stalemate. There's nothing much you can do to influence what's going on in your life. By the end of the month, we've got this change where now that blue, that need for order and organization in the real world has created somewhat of a conundrum. You're not quite sure where you're going or what it is that you want. Back here, you knew that you wanted peace and harmony and contentment. But now that peace and harmony and contentment that you had, probably as a result of this, feels a little bit stale. So instead, you're now looking for an alternative. You still want that peace and harmony because it's still part of the underlying energy. But at the same time, you also want to find a middle road that doesn't make you feel quite as frustrated as this combination did here. If we take the colors and put them across one another, we find that the grey over blue is the same as here, and the cyan over blue is the same as we've got here. So there's a very important cohabitation happening here between what the energy with which you're leaving the month and also your underlying energy. They are reinforcing one another. There is a strong, strong urge for things to get your act together. And in the real world, yeah, okay, you can create that stability, but the stability is also something that you're not quite sure is going to last. Let's have a look at the colours that are missing to see if they offer us any more information. You don't have any black, and you don't have any white. They are both hidden here in the grey, but as colours themselves, they don't exist. You've got red, you've got yellow, there's no green. You've got blue, there's no brown, there's no orange. Oops. You do have grey. There's no purple, even though it is hidden in here. There's no pink, but you do have cyan. So here we have 5 colours that are available to you as skills that you will use throughout the month of December. So here we have 5 colours that are skills that are available to you throughout the month of December. What you are missing are these colours. Black, the ability to withdraw and to contemplate just what it is that you know and really need at a deep level. White, the ability to deal with whatever life throws at you. Green, the urge towards finding something new. Brown, the urge towards creating goals and developing the practical skills that are necessary to attain them. Orange, being able to survive any crisis that might occur. Purple, being able to create something new out of something that has been destroyed. And pink, the ability to love and to be loved, to feel vulnerable and at the same time to show that that vulnerability is something to be cherished. So out of those 7 colours, which is the most appealing and which is the least appealing? Choose those 2 and make sure that you take note of them every day throughout the month to see just where you are going to go, particularly as you head towards the end of the month where you have all of this uncertainty. You're looking for a middle road. Are you going to find it? And if so, it will probably be hidden in these colours here. Let's have a look at that image that jumped out on us. It says, reflect. Okay. This is probably a very strong hint because there is no reflection whatsoever here. The reflection occurs here. White is the mirror. Black is the withdrawal into yourself to discover what has been hidden behind the mirror. Perhaps a choice that you might consider? Well, the reading has been fairly short this time. That's partially because of the time constraints. December is a very busy month for most of us, so I don't have much time, and I dare say neither do you. And I dare say that a shorter reading would be far more beneficial to you. But I do have an offer on the table. If you've gotten this far and you've actually listened to the entirety of the reading and you feel it has something in it for you, why not contact me on my Gmail account, which is in the description. I'll also put it in the show notes. And in doing so, take up an offer of a free personal reading that we can do either via Zoom, such as a discussion here and now, or I can do it anonymously for you. But you need to ask for it. The decision is yours. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And if you have any questions or any comments to make, those would be appreciated down in the comments section, which tends to be fairly bare most of the time. Anyway, may you have a wonderful December. May the colours that you choose work for you in a way that enables you to feel at peace and in harmony with the world and all around. And let's look forward to a 2026 that is a little less chaotic than this year has been. Until next time, bye.